Hello everybody, this is Michael with Mills Roofing. Today I wanted to show you how to safely set up a ladder so you can gain access to your roof. So, as you can see here, this is one of the Gorilla ladders. Little Giant makes one like it, Werner makes one similar. There's several models out there. This one extends to 22 feet, I believe, is what this one extends to. This is the style I'm going to show you how to set up today, because most homeowners are probably not going to have large extension ladders around their home. You're probably going to have more of a setup like this. So I will show you a couple tips on an extension ladder as well, because there's some differences, but we're mainly going to use this one. All right, so first with these ladders, you have to open the system up, because this can be used as a step ladder like this, or as an extension ladder so you can get to higher heights. In this case, we're going to use it as an extension ladder. As you can see, we're going to be gaining access to this roof here at a porch. There's a couple things I'm going to show you with this for you to keep in mind while you're setting up your ladder. You may not have an option like this on where you can set your ladder up. That's okay. As long as you follow these basic principles in it, you still be able to set up your ladder safely. Now, first thing is, when you look at the ground here, you want to set your ladder up on a stable, level area. Now, the ground may not be perfectly level because it's ground, but that being said, you want to try to get it in an area that's as level as possible, or at least the most level around your site where you have easy access to. So, for us, we picked this area here. I'll show you once we get this set up how the feet are stabilized and why it makes sense to have it set up in this location. Another thing to keep in mind is, if you can set your ladder up in grass or dirt, mulch, a flower bed, something like that, that is the best place to set up your feet, because you don't have to worry about your feet sliding out on concrete, blacktop, or gravel, or even a wood deck. Wooden decks are very, very terrible with that. So, next step is, we're going to unlock the ladder so we can open it all the way. Now, you can set the ladder down to do that. For me, it's just easier to set it up that way. Now, you want to have your ladder based on OSHA requirements at 1 foot for every 4 foot of the height of the wall away from the wall. So that's kind of your angle. In this case, this is about a 10-12 foot stretch here. So we're going to have the ladder roughly 4 feet away from the distance from the base of the ladder to that wall. I'll show you a little easier way to eyeball that. You don't have to break out a tape measure and measure all that out. You can eyeball it and at least get it close with the proper angle for what you have to do. So the next step with these ladders, because they also have an extension option, is you want to unlock the sides like this. Now this is unlocked, and then extend it to what you need for the height of the ladder. Lock it back in. Okay? Now, right here, this is not going to work, because according to OSHA standards, you want to have your ladder roughly 3 to 3.5 feet over your eave overhang, so this bottom part of the roof. So we're going to extend this a little bit more to make sure we have enough clearance and height at the top to gain access to the roof. So again, unlock your ladder and slowly push this up to have enough clearance at the top of the eave. So now we roughly have about 3 to 3.5 feet. Okay? So, another important thing that you want to look at when you're setting your ladder up on your gutters, you have gutter hangers inside these gutters. That's where your gutter is going to be the strongest at, so that when you set up your ladder, as you walk up it, you don't have to worry about your weight crushing the gutter. Now, if you have the older gutter fastener systems with the gutter spikes, you can see the circle diameter of the head from the ground. So that's an easy way to locate it. You would just set your uprights of your ladder on each side of that gutter spike. Now, in this case, with this gutter, it has the concealed hangers. They're supposed to be spaced out about every 2 feet. So you're going to kind of eyeball it to see where you'd be at. We have 1, 2, 3. We have one about right here. And I got to make sure my ground is level. So, positioning my ladder where I'm safely positioned over that gutter spike to have strength. So, right now, as you can see, we have a good angle on the ladder. One way is if you reach out, that 4th rung is about shoulder height in that range. Again, the technical side of that is 1 foot from the wall for every 4 foot of height of that wall that you're using. Now, the next step is, as you can see, since this is not a standard extension ladder, it does not have a pull rope on it. So have your trusty bungee cord or some type of rope in order to secure the top of your ladder to the gutter spikes or the fasteners when you're up there, in order to prevent your ladder from sliding on you. So that's the next step. Now again, before climbing a ladder like this, make sure everything's locked in place, just like we did with the extension, or once we unfolded it and with the extension, everything's locked in place. If not, you'll take a trip and it won't be a fun trip. Okay? Now, my gutter spike is here, about right in the middle of the ladder, just like I wanted it to be. So I'm actually going to take my bungee, wrap it around, and try to hook this back into the gutter spike in the gutter. That way this secures the ladder. Get that a little bit better. This secures this ladder to the roof so that when I step off of this ladder, it's not going to kick my ladder sideways. Now, a little bit of movement here is not going to kill you. That's normal because, again, you're on ground. So it can shift a little bit, but you want to try to set it up in a way where you're going to avoid that. One, it can scare you pretty good. And then second, if it's not set up right, it will keep going and you'll be on the ground or you'll be stranded. So always tie off your ladder. Now that we're set safely, the ladder is secure, you want to get up to the roof line. And when you step, do not push. Once you put your foot here, do not push the ladder, just like that. You see that? Do not push. When you step, firmly plant, keep your hand on the ladder, 3 points of contact, and now you're on the roof. So that's how you set up one of these kinds of ladders. Same thing when getting back onto the ladder, 3 points of contact, your 2 feet, your hand on the ladder. Step close to the ladder, get this leg ready to pivot. You don't want to step on your rung above the gutter line because that can cause your feet to kick out. Not so much when you're on the grass, but if you're set up on pavers or concrete, blacktop, or a deck, you definitely don't want to step on that rung. So now I have 3 points of contact, foot, see? As soon as I got on there, my other hand went here, 3 points of contact. Now I'm back onto the ladder, and I'm working my way back down the ladder. Now, a couple of differences that I wanted to show you with the extension ladder. If you see here, there's feet that pivot on this ladder, whereas on this little giant, this Gorilla ladder, it does not have that. It's stationary feet. So with this ladder, the reason I didn't use this one is it doesn't extend 3 feet above the gutter line there. But with this ladder, if I'm gonna set this one up, you extend your ladder to the appropriate height. Same thing. I want level surface. Lean my ladder into the gutter line. And here's the key part. With these feet, you want to get these teeth of the gutter feet spiked into the ground. That's going to create the most stable base. So the best way to do that is you have your ladder leaning on the surface that it's going on. You just grab it, pull back, and flip it in. And now, jump on the ladder, make sure it's set. Give it a little number here. Everything's nice and set. This ladder is now stable in the ground. So there's going to be your couple differences between the feet on this ladder and the feet on your extension ladder. That's the way to safely set up for a stable base on the extension ladder. The rest of the process is the same. Around the gutter spikes, 3 to 3.5 feet over the gutter line or over your eave, and then have something to tie your ladder off with. That's it. That's how you safely set up a ladder. Thanks for watching. All right.